of us as a people. The problem with hero syndrome is what happened when President Mwanawasa died. Because everything that he espoused, everything that he stood for, went with him. As we go into the election, before you think of picking a leader, before you think of picking a party that you want to support, before you do any of those things, ask yourself, are you doing enough to make sure that you create a society, you create a country that is fitting for all these things that I mentioned? It is not enough to have a good leader in a broken society, because in the end, even this good leader becomes a bad leader.
Do you think that everything falls and rises on leadership?
But leaders are picked from amongst us. Leaders do not just jump from without. They are picked from amongst us. So if you and I agree that corruption is wrong, if you and I believe in equality, if you and I believe in justice, if you and I say this is a level of morality, if this is a standard that we shall live by, we can be assured that anyone from us that will rise to lead us will espouse these values, these principles that we've agreed to. If we neglect to play our role as people and as citizens, and hope that a superman or superwoman will come and redeem us, that may not happen. That may never happen. What we should do as a people is create an environment that's going to produce a leader that's going to respond to us accurately.
Well, do you think the current crop of leadership that we have today is one that is inspiring, especially from the opposition? You've painted a very not so good picture about the current head of state, and you've advised him not to contest, for your own reasons. You've advised him not to contest. But from, the pool that we're remaining with, would you say that among those that are there today, are there any leaders that are inspirational that you would hope that, if maybe leadership is left in the hands of this particular individual, maybe our country would thrive?
So, like I said, I don't believe in that thought. I choose not to engage that question because, like I said, picking an individual and leaving out the character of society is impossible. Leaders are products of society. I'll give an example. If you go to what's the best example? Okay, so if you go to a dancing class or dancing school, it's possible that anybody that you're going to appoint to lead that group, or if you ask people to vote for somebody to lead them, if they are Rumba dancers, if there are more Rumba dancers than hip-hop dancers, and you pick people to choose between who's going to be their boss or leader, you get one from the hip-hop dancers and you get one from the Rumba dancers. If there are more people that dance Rumba, they obviously pick the Rumba dancer as their leader. If there are more hip-hop dancers, they will pick one that belongs to, that agrees and is part of this group. What I'm trying to say to you is, if you have a society, for example, if you have a society that believes and thinks in a certain way, that do not believe in ideals of democracy, that don't believe in ideals of equality and all that, if you pick a criminal to stand, or a criminal stands, and you have a country with so many criminals, the criminal will win the election. What I'm trying to say to you is, the first thing before you start looking at the people that are standing, ask yourself. Let's ask ourselves, are we doing what we're supposed to do? Because mind you, if you and I set the standard so high, it will push anyone that wants to stand to lead us to live by that standard. Are you getting that? If we neglect our responsibilities and hope that a leader will just happen and change everything, that's not possible. That's not going to work. We, first of all, must create ourselves, must set a standard. And anybody that will aspire to lead us will have to meet a certain standard.
Do you think our current citizenry are able to make that informed decision to, to put someone that will aspire for, their
Yes, I
challenges?
do. Yes, I do. They've done it before. Yes, I do. And I do have hope.
Didn't they do it in 2015 and 2016?
Yes, they did. And they can do anything in 2021.
Would you say that indeed we, the people, are to blame for our misfortune? Because I think we are the ones that put in these leaders.
So we can blame everybody. We can blame ourselves. We can blame the leaders because the leaders deceive us. They lie to us. So we can blame them for lying to us, and we can blame ourselves for not having checked them thorough enough. It's a collective responsibility. And most of the things that our leaders do, it's because we've allowed them to. We've allowed them to do that.
And maybe really, in your closing remarks, Pilato, when it comes to choosing a political leader, especially during elections, this is something that is very difficult because all of them will come in the same language. All of them will come promising to do everything that they would want to do. But it's difficult to trust who to give a vote to. From your own experience as a social activist and one that has had the enlightenment through education, what would you put as standards of how we should consider when voting? What are some of the things that we need to look for, especially in a leader, as we get to cast our votes on the 12th of August? What is that you can advise other people?
I don't think I can advise them anything. What I would say to every Zambian listening is vote for yourself. Vote for yourself by voting for what you believe in. If you believe that you deserve certain things, look around. Who is that one particular individual that's speaking to that particular concern? Those that believe that better is possible, choose better. Those that believe that this is not good enough, go put your vote there. Those that believe that this is fine, we are happy where we are, let them choose.
But from your standpoint, this is not good enough.
It's not good enough. It's not even good. It's terrible. It's not. It's not, Andrew.
Pilato, I would like to thank you so much for having made an appearance on a special edition of The Assignment. Thank you so much for having made time.
So before I go, probably I would want to speak, because this is the 16 days of gender activism. Please, can I?
Please, a few seconds.
In closing, I would like to speak to every man that's listening now, that during these 16 days, we must reflect as men and ask ourselves, how did we get to a point where women will have to die? How did we get to a point where it has to become a campaign for women to survive in our homes, women to survive in our society? How did we get here? If women are not safe in our houses, if women are not safe in our workplaces, if women are not safe in our shopping malls, if women are not safe in our markets, at some point, we men, as men, will never be safe in the same places, because we will forever be women's children. Thank you very much. We can go now.
Is this the Zambia we want? Is what we've been discussing on tonight's edition of the assignment program. I've been speaking to Pilato. Thank you so much, Pilato, again, for having made time to appear on the assignment.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much to my producer and director, Mavuto Piri. And thank you so much for Here I Live. Yeah, I'll listen to it again. I already listened to it. For now, good night and God bless.